So good day everyone. So today we are going to discuss another topic which is linguistic versus extralingual context. So in this video we're going to discuss about what is linguistic and what is extralingual context. So first, we have here the definition of linguistic context and the definition of extralingual context. So when we say linguistic context, it refers to the encirclement of a language unit by another language units in a speech. So in other words, linguistic context or verbal context refers to the linguistic environment in which a word is used within a text. So it is the relationship or the connection between words, phrases, sentences, and even paragraph. Um, we can't understand the exact meaning without linguistic context. So the major concern of linguistic context is to study the specific language and the quest for the generic features that are shared by all languages. So for example, we have here the word bachelor. So when we hear the word bachelors, of course, una nating maiisip is ito ay isang uri ng sasakyan na ginagamit ng tao for transportation. But when we are going to say he is a bachelor, so it means that we are referring to a person. So that is for linguistic context. So let's proceed to extralingual context. So extralingual context is formed by extralingual conditions in which communication takes place. So it has four types, which is the physical, the abstract, the temporal or chronological, and the psychological. So when we say extralingual context, it can be physical or abstract and can be significantly affect the communication. So extralingual refers to the environment, the time, the place in which the discourse occurs, and it also includes the relationship between the participants. So now let's proceed to the types of linguistic and extralingual context. So for linguistic, deictic. So deictic is a word that points to the time, place, or situation in which a speaker is speaking. So deictic is refers to a word or a phrase that talks about time, the place, and the situation. So for example, I want him to come here now. So the words I, here, and him, and also the word now are examples of deictic because the determination of their reference depends on who said that particular word or phrase or sentences, where, when, and to whom it is said. So that is deictic. So next is the context. So the context is the words that surrounds a particular word within a text that provide context, and context also help to determine the meaning of that particular sentence or phrases. So for example is a key to a door. Another example is a key to solve a problem. So the words door and problem are the context of the word key. So another types of linguistic context is the collocation. So when we say collocation, it is a word or phrase that is often used with another praise. So for example, is problem solving. So the word problem is a different word. Then the word solving is also a different word. But in collocation, they are kumbaga pinagsama. So that is collocation. Combination of two different words. Another example is highly appreciated. So let's proceed now to the types of extralingual context. So first is we have the physical context. So physical context refers to the setting in which the communication happens. So it talks about the setting or the location in which the communication occur. So for example, there is a lover talking in the park. So the conversation between the lover can be affected by the surroundings in terms of the music. So music also is a problem. Another one is the location. So for example, in the park. So we all know that the park is a noisy place. So another one is the temporal or the chronological context. So chronological context refers to the date and the duration. So it refers to the time in which the communication takes place or the communication happen or occur. Another one, we have the abstract context. When we say abstract, it is about the environment and the background in which the communication takes place. So, for example, is a colleagues having a conversation with each. The dialogue or the conversation between colleagues can be affected by the nature of their relationship. So the last type of extralingual context is the psychological context. So psychological context refers to the mood and emotions of the speaker and the audience. So psychological context involves emotions, feelings, not just to the speaker but also the feelings or the emotion of the audience. So what you and your audience feelings or emotion will have a significant impact to the communication. So that are the types of linguistic and extralingual context. So for linguistic, we have deictic, cautic, and collocation. So for the extralingual, we have four types. So the physical, the temporal or chronological, the abstract, and the psychological context. So now let's move on to the other types of context. So first, we have the micro context. So micro context is the context of a single utterance. So micro context is the linguistic, grammatical, phonological, lexical, and syntactic environment of a text. So another one is the macro context. Macro context is the context of a paragraph in a text. So macro context is about the environment of the text. And the last one is the mega context, which is it refers to the context of a book, chapter, a story, or the whole book itself. So that is our topic. So again, the difference between linguistic context and situational context or the extralingual context is that linguistic refers to the information that was formerly written or spoken, while the situational context or the The situational context or the extralingual context refers to the general knowledge that a person has. So that is for our topic. So thank you, and I hope you understand.